economic news. Alright, we're going to go ahead and let's get it started, family. We're going to look at our first financials. Starting, we're going to take a look at CNBC.com. Alright, so we're going to start looking at, let's start with the Precious Metals. As we know, Friday, if you paid attention, family, that gold took a hit. It was as of close on Friday at 5:44 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. It was down $23.29 to wind up at $2,046.10 an ounce. Silver went unchanged at $28.40. Copper took a hit about 12 cents, about 0.12 cents to about $2.79. Platinum took a hit down $31.90 to $982 an ounce for platinum. And palladium took a hit as well to $61.50. That was negative, to wind up at $2,197 an ounce. Alright, so we switch over and look at some of these Dow Jones Industrials. Okay. And I'm going to show you what I'm looking at right here, so people can realize what I'm actually looking at. Alright, so if we take a look at it, look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. She wound up 46.50. That's after hours trading last night. And then the S&P 500 wound up being up. So did the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ was down negative 97.09 points. And Russell's 2000 was up slightly at 24.56, and the VIX was down. Volatility index is down negative 44. Alright, we're going to switch over to gold. Going back again to gold. As you see, everything was down except for silver. Silver remained unchanged. Okay. Alright, so we look at some of these Asian markets. The Nikkei is down pretty big, about 88.21 points. The Shanghai Exchange negative 32.43. HSI to Hong Kong, the AX, and the Kospi. Alright, the Kospi was up, actually. Alright, look at some of the European stocks. They all up to the green of what we're looking at so far. The DAX, the FTSE, the CAC, the FTSE MIB, and the Stock 600, they're all up. Alright. Some of the oil. These are some of the oil that's going on. The oil, the WTI is down negative 35 cents to wind up at $41.60 a barrel. The Brentwood's oil is unchanged at $44.40. Natural gas, RBOB gas is down, and ULSDH HO is down as well too. Alright, so this is what I look at different websites. I try to give you a different look at what different websites are looking at, financial websites. As we can see here, different websites. Alright, so we can go ahead and let's take a look at the financials. Alright, the markets as they close, and as we look ahead, look back at the week. It was a bumpy road this week when it comes to finances. We saw the markets go up as far as precious metals skyrocket up, go past 2,000 for the first time in my lifetime since I've been alive. Alright, and we saw silver get back up, not to its highs in back in 2008, but it got up there. Alright, so let's go ahead and get it started with some of the news. We start looking at overseas. Alright, we're looking at European. This is from ZeroHedge.com. European funds post stunning 835 billion in trading losses for the first half of 2020. Alright, so the European markets, they posted a loss of billions of dollars, close to $1 trillion. Alright. Putting a face on a very real economic impact from the coronavirus, European funds that suffered a combined 706.4 billion euros in trading losses, and $35 billion US. Over the first half of 2020, according to Relative Looper data released Wednesday and reported by Reuters. Like many other industries, the pandemic had its way with European funds, especially in March, when global markets plunged, prompting massive interventions by central banks. Alright. Assets managed by European fund industries saw both losses in the first quarter, outflows falling to 11.2 trillion euros on June 30th from 12.3 trillion euros on December 31st. So in the 6 month period, almost 7 months, they lost. They fell from 12.3 trillion to 11.2 trillion. All right, and that's over $1 trillion in losses. All right. This trend reversed over the course of the second quarter as central banks and governments around the globe started a quantitative easing program and economic relief packages to cushion economic drawdowns caused by the spread of the coronavirus and the lockdowns of economics around the globe. All right. All right. So move down a little bit further. Mutual funds added a 105.6 billion euros in assets, with bond funds emerging as the best-selling asset types. ETFs added 17.4 billion euros. Money market funds are the best-selling, bringing 152 billion euros. All right. So over the long haul in Europe, over the first half of the year, which is if they go by we talked about the actually calendar year from January to June, to the end of January 1st to the end of June. That's first half of the year. They recorded a loss of, in U.S. dollar terms, of $835 billion. If you can see us overseas, that's for you. They lost 706.4 billion in euro losses. All right, family. All right. So this one here, we're going to switch over to the next story. Is the real alternative unemployment charts, what the real unemployment is, based on 3 different categories: what the official government is putting out, what broadcast networks are putting out, the U6 numbers, and what John Williams and ShadowGovernmentStats.com is putting out. He's been watching the economy since the late 80s, and he's witnessed all the changes, what's going on. This is why I come to do my research on him. We've all done it here, and we've like you to see what we look at when we see family. All right. So here we go. We'll read it to you, but here we go. All right. You see, John Williams, Shadow Government Stats, alternative unemployment charts. The seasonal adjusted Shadow Government Stats alternative unemployment rate reflects current unemployment reporting by methodology adjusted for Shadow Government Stats estimated long-term discouraged workers. That was once one included in the category of the unemployment report, long-term discouraged workers, but they took it out under the Clinton administration, who were identified out of the official existence in 1994. All right. This estimate is added to the Bureau of Labor Statistics in the estimate of the U6 employment, which includes short-term discouraged workers. The U3 unemployment rate is the monthly headline number. The U6 rate is the Bureau of Labor Statistics, or the BLS, broadest unemployment measures, including short-term discouraged or other marginally attached workers, as well as those forced to work part-time because they cannot find full-time employment. All right. So we go down here to this chart. All right, look down. If you can see the chart, look down at the chart. You can see that in the red line, you see the official, what the government puts out, the U3, the monthly numbers, the U6, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the broadest numbers, and John Williams Shadow Stats. They got the unemployment number here, 2020, between 10 to 15%. That is the official government number. Okay, what the monthly headline numbers they put out. So pretty much just what the media is putting out. The headline number here, 10 to 15% unemployment. Now this is the U6 right here, the gray line. This is what the government is putting out, just north of about between 20 and 25% unemployment. All right. Let's call it about around 23%. All right, unemployment. This is what the U6 and the government is putting out. All right. Now this is what John Williams is putting out, adding in everything under long-term discouraged workers, people who cannot be forced to work. They were forced to work part-time and cannot find full-time employment. People who have quit looking for a job altogether. They used to be a statistic too, but now once you quit looking for a job, they go ahead and just count you as you being employed. So according to John Williams ShadowStats.com, GovernmentShadowStats.com, the real unemployment sits between 30 and 35%. Going back and forth as of right now. All right, at peak it was just over 35% to 36%, and then it went below with some of the numbers that came out. All right, and you can see here that one of the headlines, July 2020 shadows that alternative unemployment is now at 30%. So at the end of July, when they reported it, the numbers for July came out. They reported that the unemployment rate, his unemployment rate, was at 30%. That is Great Depression levels. All right, we're getting to that breaking point. All right. Some of these unemployment numbers, they're going to go from temporary to permanent unemployment. All right. So as you can see here, we do our research here. We actually look at stuff and we actually bring it to you. All right. So now you see what I've been looking at. What we look at this channel. All right. And then our final story, we come here. We're looking at food prices. All right. This is coming from news sources. Clicktohouston.com. All right. Houston, Texas. All right. Once again, that's www.clicktohouston.com news channel. All right. Food prices at grocery stores on the rise amid coronavirus. All right. The next time you leave the grocery store with a full cart of food, you may also be leaving with a larger bill. Data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the BLS, shows that food prices were up 5.6% in June compared to the year before. All right. All right. Especially with the high unemployment rate, I think a lot of people would be suffering with the increased costs, said Angie Soilero at Conroe resident. All right, sorry if I butchered your name. All right, numbers from the government shows the price of meat and veal jumped more than 20% between March and June. The price of poultry and eggs was up more than 7%. Experts said that increased traces back to multiple factors, including supply and demand during the pandemic, as well as people buying more food for meals at home. Shoppers can check prices at stores before heading out and trying to get more the most for their money. All right. All right. So we got a little clip for you. We're gonna play here. All right. This is what they're looking at going on down there. This is kind of actually from the news site down there in Houston. All right.
We do have a consumer alert to tell you about tonight. Sticker shock at the grocery store. As millions of Americans struggle with unemployment, food prices, though, continue to climb.
That's right. Channel 2's Michael Leparty live near the Woodlands tonight with items that are costing us more and how you might be able to save some money. We're all ears, Michael.
Well, Chris and Dominique, numbers from the government show that food prices have been rising in several different categories, but especially when it comes to some meats.
The next time you leave the grocery store with a cart full of food, you may also be leaving with a larger bill. Numbers from the Bureau of Labor Statistics show food prices have jumped 5.6% in June compared to the year before.
I'm a creature of habit, so I buy sort of the same things over and over again, but I'm sure, of course, I'm an older single female, so I'm sure that there's families that it's going to impact because of the need to purchase more meat items.
Angie Swallow hasn't noticed much of a change, but says the timing couldn't be worse for some folks who are struggling during the pandemic.
Especially with the high unemployment rate, I think a lot of people will be suffering with the increase in costs.
Meat and veal jumped more than 20% between March and June. Poultry and eggs up more than 7%. Fresh vegetables and cereal also rising more than 3%.
It's going to make it hard on people if it does go up.
Experts blame the increases on several factors, including supply and demand during the pandemic and more people eating at home.
So one way to get the most for your money is to download the apps and check the prices on these different products before you actually head to the store. And while these prices are not expected to fall in the short term, they may start to drop once some of the virus-related restrictions are lifted. Michael Leparty, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Michael, thank you.
All right. So that's it for our Melanated Economic News. Thank you once again for joining us on this Saturday. The time is now 12:19 a.m. At the time I will be recording this and getting it out to you. All right. Thanks again for joining us once again. Take it easy. All right. Be safe out there. All right. Take it easy, family. All right. Let's go ahead and get it started.